Hari Om. Pranams to Swamiji, Brahmacharans, Pandits, Panditas, and all devotees. Welcome to the first of our 3 nights Ramayana Yajna at California Hindu Mandir, officiated by Swami Prakashananda ji. Swami is no stranger to this area or this temple. He was raised here in Dow Village before pursuing higher studies in Toronto, Canada, where he first met Chinmaya Nandaji. When he completed his Vedanta studies in India, he eventually returned to Dow Village in 1997 to begin the work of Chinmaya Mission. Today we are blessed here to listen to Ram Katha once again following the 108 nights Ramayana Yajna just a few months ago. Without further ado, I hand over to Swamiji.
Thank you. That was nice and short and sweet. Let us all join in chanting Bhagavan's name for a few minutes. Then we'll have, see. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपितजम्बो फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम्। या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा समस्तजनकल्याणाय निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः हरि ओम। हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
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 हरे राम 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 Hare Rama Rama Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram.
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 Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Sita Ram Ram Ram. Sita Ram Ram Ram. Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Let's sing some of these chapais from Ramayana. See, you can all join chanting Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. रामचरित मानस ही नामा सुनत श्रवण पाई बे श्यामा
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
रामचरित मानस ही नामा सुनत श्रवण पाई विश्रामा
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram.
रचि महेश निज मानस राखा पाई सुसम सेवासन भाषा काहू न को सुख दुख करता निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता शुभ अरु अशुभ कर्म अनुहारी ईश देव
वो करी तर्क बढ़ावे साखा राम की न चाहई सोई होई करे अन्यथा नहीं होई उमा दारू जोशित की नाई सब ही नचावत राम गोसाई काम आदि मद दम्बन जाके तात निरंतर बस में ताके काम क्रोध मद लोभ सब नात न रखे के पंत श्री राम सब परिहरि रघुबीर बजहु बजाई जय संत श्री राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. So this is these are some verses from the Ramcharitamanas. Before I begin, let me say a very special Hari Om to all of you and welcome to this Yajna, 3 nights, which is arranged here by Bhavalaji and all the members of this mandir, and to Pandit also for joining. And we hope that in these few days you will pick up some little lessons. And we try to tell all the time, no? See, there are few things which only a human being can do for himself. Like for example, today, right, in certain places, somebody else can go and write the exam for you, you know. I know people who do that. Somebody else go and write the exam. So like that, you have certain people who could do certain things for you. You have to go and tidy cow. So you get somebody to go and tidy cow. It's your cow, but there are certain things, whatever you do, you cannot get somebody else to do it for you. Like for example, eat food. Go and give your neighbor to eat for you. Or breathe. Pranapana. Right? Let somebody else breathe for you now. Ram Ram Satya will see you in Waterloo. So there are certain things people could do for you, and there are certain things which nobody could do for you. You have to do for yourself. And this simple rule about the universe. Now this is a simple rule which I just told you, right? A simple rule about the universe. This simple thing, people get mixed up in their mind. And we think that Babaji or a Swami or somebody go touch you and you go reach Bhagwan. This thing about your spiritual evolution, a person's own spiritual evolution, and a person's journey to Bhagwan, nobody could do that for you. We all have to do that thing for ourselves. So please see this. And this is a very simple rule. This falls in the category of things which you have to do for yourself. In other words, and that is because of a simple thing. Look, we just chanted here. Tulsidaji writes many verses in this Ramayana in this regard. So now, I will just go back. I know you didn't know what we were chanting, but I'll go back now and tell from Ramayana only. See here. Karai jo karam pav hal soi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Rama.
Nigam niti asi kah sab koi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Subh aru asubh karam anuhari.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Is deyi bhalu hridaya vichari.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Karma pradhan vishwa kari rakha.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jo jas karai so tas phalu chakha.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Sitarama.
Jaya Sita Rama.
Jai Shri Rama.
Jai Shri Ram.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai.
Jai.
Now I just chanted for you verses from many places of Ramayana. He says, Karai jo karma pava phala soi. Whatever karma we do, we will get that result. And now, this is a very important thing. And this is where the mix-up comes. Who will get the result? The person who, yes, the one who did the action, he will get the result, isn't it? Karma is not transferable. Other things may be transferable, property and wealth and money and this and that. But karma is not transferable. Karma is like an airline ticket. You buy a ticket in your name and then you decide not to go to Miami and you say, I want to give that ticket to the closest person in my life, my wife or my husband, my spouse. I want to give that ticket to that person. Let that person go. That is not going to happen. Go try. So like that airline ticket, they write also in the fine print, it is non-transferable. So karma is like that also. You cannot say that I will do some good karma and you will get the result. I will do some bad karma and you will get the result. In some early societies and all, what we call societies that don't have proper understanding, punishment by the state was transferable. But that is stopped everywhere in the world now, because people understand better. In other words, if the father did a crime, and he said this father did some crime, and poor fellow, he old and frail and fragile, and let his son go in jail. So if the father does a crime and his son goes to jail, that does not mean to say that the karma is transferable. Because the person's karma is not registered by the state. The person's karma is registered on his psyche. So the father did the crime and his son went to jail. That father still has to pay for his crime somewhere in some other birth, some other place sometime. He's not absolved. So the rule of karma is not transferable. Now, if karma is not transferable, if I do all spiritual things, and I worship Bhagavan, and I chant Ramayana, and I study scriptures, and do Swadhyaya, and whatever thing, how that will come on you? If karma is not transferable. That can't, isn't it? That is like eating. If I eat, your belly will full. That cannot happen. So each person has to, by himself, you can take guidance, you can listen to satsang, this, that, take guidance, but eventually you will have to do your own karma. You will have to do your own spirituality. You will have to do everything for yourself. Don't take exception to mean rule. Like Swami Vivekananda. People say, but Swamiji, this is people's reply to me now. Swamiji, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the great Mahatma, he touched Swami Vivekananda. And Swami Vivekananda got enlightenment. That is people's example. Which is actually historical thing, which is true also. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa touched Swami Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda got enlightenment. Let us just presume this historical thing is correct. Right? And look here, in Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's life, he touched 1 million people. How did he get enlightenment? Because they were not Swami Vivekananda. So in his whole life, he only touched one man. The people who he touched, they were not ready, they were not equipped, they were not fit, they were not evolved like Swami Vivekananda. But how Swami Vivekananda became Swami Vivekananda? He became Swami Vivekananda by his sadhana, by spiritual practice. So one has to do it for oneself. Don't go on depending on, this is a futile exercise, to go on depending on this one and this one. And simplest sadhana is as effective and efficacious as any other sadhana. It all depends on how much bhav you do that sadhana with. That's spiritual practice, you see? It all depends on your bhav, that feeling. So, whatever you are doing, your spiritual sadhana, do that with pura bhav. And that thing is very, very effective. But you have to do for yourself. And you see, suppose you don't know scriptures and you don't know Ramcharitmanas and this and that, no problem also. ठीक है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. It doesn't mean that you have to know any of these things. You just concentrate on being. See, if today I get up and I ball in behind everybody. Long time they say you buck away. You're barking. One lady say, Ramaji, I have a poodle, I have a Doberman, and I have a Alsatian, and the only one that has barked at me is my husband. But if you get up today and you find that you barking, you making noise, you quarreling, you angry, you this, you that, who can remove that from your heart? You think. You go by some Baba, some Swami or somebody to touch you, so that will go away? No, it is not going to happen like that. How simple spirituality is actually, we complicate things. If I find a Durguna means a negative trait. Try to remember the Sanskrit words, it's better. If I find some Durguna in me, some negative trait, undesirable trait, the only one person in this world who could remove that thing is me. Even Bhagwan, don't interfere with that. Because if Bhagwan is to interfere, all of us would have had all negative traits. Gone. Then one more thing. If I have some negative trait, you should not feel bad about anything. We all commit this all negative traits. What you'll do? You're born with it. We are born with those things. Nobody didn't hold you in school and say, open your mouth and they put some negative trait inside you. We are born with those things. There's nothing to feel bad about. What is important thing is, if I have some Durguna, I first of all recognize, realize, notice, become cognizant of. And second, I make some effort to remove that. This is the only route where karma can remove our bondage from this sansara. This is the only thing available to us. Nothing. No prayers. All of these things are all cheap selling religion. All the cheap selling religion and all. Don't buy that. This world is called karma pradhana biswakari rakha, we chanted here. We have to, don't depend on cheap selling religion. Do some solid action. I mean, like for example, when I find a Durguna, tomorrow you take a vow. Okay, I'll not do it from now. Even if I get angry, I will not shout at anybody or anything like that. So that's the first step. So if that action, you can't go on. You see, I keep telling prayers, people attribute to prayers what prayers are not capable of doing. And what prayers were not meant for also. People attribute those results to prayers. And the simplest example you see, if two children are there, and they have to write an exam tomorrow, and tonight is the night before the exam, and one of them studying and one of them praying, who go pass? Anyway, yeah, just a simple thing. The one who study, he go pass. Correct or not? Because I have plenty atheist children who don't believe in God and who don't pray and they just pass. Correct or not? Plenty. So exams are not passed by prayers. Look here. If Bhagwan do that, right? Let me just tell you. If Bhagwan make you pass your exam by prayer, you know what will happen? It means to say that let me say you are an engineer and you're in university and you pray, and Bhagwan feel real sorry for you. And you say, oh, this fellow, he over pray. Let me make him pass. So this fellow passed the exam. He gets certificate now. And he come to design your roof into your house as an engineer. He didn't study, so he can't pass the exam. But Bhagwan feels sorry for him and make him pass. And he gets certificate. And he's a certified engineer now. And he come and design your roof. When he didn't study anything properly. So if Bhagwan do that, Bhagwan will kill you. So that is why he made the rule in the world. This is the rule here. Karma pradhana biswakari rakha. Biswa means jo jasa kare. Biswa means this world. And Biswa means Brahmaji also. The one who manifested this world. So karma pradhani, everything operates by karma only. That is the idea. And Bhagavan don't interfere in that thing. Because once he interferes, everything becomes unfair. He make this fella pass. Now see, he pray. And then next fella comes and says, Bhagavan, look, you just make he pass. Without studying. What about me now? What are Bhagavan to say now? No. I do it for one person. I can't do it for you. But Bhagavan, you're biased. You're one-sided. You're unfair. You see? So this, all verses where we just chanted, the verses are on karma. We have to do, and Bhagavan also tells that karma brings results very fast. Once we do the karma, any person, once he does the karma, Bhagavan is just waiting to give the result. But the one who doesn't do the karma, well, Bhagavan is so wonderful also, he's just waiting to give the result, but we're not doing the karma. Not doing the correct thing. So from our life, we have to see now and go on doing all the proper karma. And this is the root. Don't fall prey to all of these other kind of roots. Nothing is going, no durguna is going to go away from me if I don't make an effort. Effort is what is required. So this is the whole idea of karma pradhana biswa kari rakha. And don't go on, people always go on hoping for favors. This favor, that favor, Bhagavan go favor me. Do something. And it's the simplest thing. You get up in the morning and you offer some jal to Bhagavan, Surya Bhagavan. You offer a flower to Surya Bhagavan. Or whatever, in the morning time. You get up and you chant Hanuman Chalisa. That is way, way better than everything else that we get up in the morning and chant the Hanuman Chalisa like that. Karma pradhan visva kari rakha, jo jasa karai so tasa phalu chakha. And don't go on hoping for favors from this one and that one. He'll bless me, he'll do this, he'll do that. If you ask for blessing, ask for blessings to remember that you have to get up and do karma. I have to get up and do my karma. Bless me so that I will remember, because I'm forgetful too bad. Human beings, very forgetful. Forgetful Jones. Okay. Now, this is one thing. In this same section, in the same Ramcharitamanas, Bhagavan explains one of the simplest sadhana that any one of us can do. That sadhana is called as Ram Nam. Chanting of the name of Ram. Now I'll just chant some verses and we'll see what Bhagavan tells about his name of Ram. See there. राम एकता पसतियतारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
नाम कोटि खल कुमति सुधारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
अगुण सगुण दुई ब्रह्म स्वरूपा
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
अकथ अगाध अनादि अनूपा
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
मोरे मत बड़ नाम दुहूते
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
किए जेहि जुग निज बस निज बूते
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम Syavar Ramachandra ki Jai. So if one is Hindu, like us, then what? You are very lucky. How? Well, the number of spiritual practices available to you, they're countless. Huh? The Hindu has so... Now see, tomorrow morning when you get up, how many various things you could do. You could get up and sit down in your little puja room or whatever you have and chant Hanuman Chalisa. Some people don't like this chanting. Swamiji, I don't like this chanting business. Why? Because I have a bad voice. I just croak. Okay. You don't like chanting. You just croak. But Bhagavan don't mind croaking also, eh? But other people in the house don't mind if you're croaking. So I don't like this chanting business. Well, you could get up and do a little puja. So you go outside and get a flower. Bhagavan tells in Gita, one flower only, enough. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. One fruit, one leaf. You go outside and get. Some people don't like that also. Because when you go outside to pick the flower, a caterpillar walk on his hand. So he like caterpillar. Every morning he had to get up and go and walk there. So he doesn't. Okay, take care. You don't like to do puja. Okay, so tomorrow morning when you get up, you take your japa mala and go on chanting. Ram, 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 Ram. And there are various ways. You'll have to learn the vidhi, right? There are various ways to chant and what to chant and all that. But some people say to Swamiji, this mala, my hand get tired. His hand drop down too. Mala, when he open his eye, he know the mala themselves. He like no mala, no japa. Acha, theek hai. Inside your house, you take a lota of water and you go by Jhandi there and you look at Surya Bhagavan in the east and Om Suryaya Namaha and you offer to Surya Bhagavan. That's lota of jal. Om Bhaskaraya Namaha. Whatever name of Bhagavan, Surya Bhagavan you want to call the name and you offer. Well, some people, Swamiji, every morning this lota water also. And look here, me I want to go and waste Vasa water, you know. He could come up with some story, you know, why he want to go and waste Vasa water. But he had a pipe running all the time, eh? He care about that. But when you tell him to offer lota jal, he have an excuse, I don't want to waste Vasa water. Anyway, Jo hua, so hua, whatever it will let it be. So what we say now, Tulsidas ji, in this Ramcharitmanas, he gives the most wonderful sadhana. And this he has culled from the Bhagavatam. And he has culled from other places in scriptures, right? And that is called Ram Nam Ucharan. Means to say, you go on chanting the name of Ram. Now see, for the lota water, you have to get up and go there. For the puja, you have to go and get flowers or whatever. For the other things, for the mala, you have to get up and sit down on your bed straight. But for Ram Nam, you know, even when you lie down self, the moment your eyes open, you could chant on the bed. There is no vidhi for chanting Ram Nam. He writes here, I'll tell you, see. Bhai ko bhai, the verse is not here. At another place, bhai ko bhai anak alasahu. By any which way, hook or crook, we chant the name of Ram. Lie down, sit down, sideways, left side, right side, you chant in, drive in anything. Chant the name of Ram. Now see, that is not like the other sadhanas. You have to get water, get flowers, get lamp, get diya, get wick. This, that is nothing. But this sadhana is the most pervasive and easy sadhana in any which way. Bhai, Kubhai, Nakhala, anyway. Chant it when we angry, when we happy, when we sad, anything, chant that time also. Ram Nam. That is the meaning. One day, Hanumanji passing by somebody, someplace, and it have a man inside the toilet. And he chanted Ram Nam inside the toilet. Ram, 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 Ram inside the toilet. So Hanumanji said, what is this? Inside the toilet he chanted? He had no sense. If he chanted my Ram Nam, my Rama's name inside the toilet, how inauspicious and rude and this and that. So Hanumanji wait for him outside the toilet. When he come out, he gave him one mushti top his head like this. Psh. And that man just turned and watched Hanumanji and he walk away. If Hanuman give you a mushti on your head, and nothing happened to him, he walk away only. So Hanumanji said, Ajib baat hai? Kya hua? What happened? Nothing happened to him. He said, I'm going to have to tell Bhagwan Ram this. When he gone there to tell Bhagwan Ram this news, he see a bump on Bhagwan Ram's head. He said, Prabhu, what happened? He said, how you get a bump in your head? He said, you just hit me. He said, me hit you. I hit a man who came out from the toilet chanting your name. He said, but the man was chanting my name. And I vow to protect all my devotees. So if he is my devotee chanting my name, and I have vowed to protect him, and you hit him, well, I have to take the blow. So these are exceptions in scriptures where the karma is taken by Bhagwan. Only Bhagwan has the prerogative to take the karma. Bhagwan has prerogative to take all of our karma, if he so desires. But I cannot take your karma, and you cannot take mine, because you are not Ishvara. I am not Ishvara. We are Jiva. Bhagwan is Ishvara. So anyway, the idea is, there is no vidhi for chanting the name of Ram. It means to say, there are no rules or nothing. Ram nyamate hi sumirana jaga. Vibhishan got up in the morning. Hanumanji is standing outside. When Vibhishan woke up, Hanumanji is listening. He woke up saying, Ram, now. So, Hanumanji thought, oh, he has to be a Ram devotee. So now in these verses, Ram ekatapa satyatari. Rama saved one Ahalya. Nam koti khala kumati sudhari. But his name has saved countless wicked people. So that power of the name of Ram is told in these verses, in these sections in Ramcharitma. See, just now I was telling you another verse, it is not here. And these are just selected verses. So there are so many verses in that Balkan about the power of the name of Ram. So that name, which is so powerful, I get up in the morning and I chant. Or get up in the afternoon, or sit up in the afternoon, or walk in the afternoon, anything. No rule. But for the one who is a proper, serious devotee, he will chant every... That is why, Sote bhi Ram kaho, Khate bhi Ram kaho, Haste bhi Ram kaho, Rote bhi Ram kaho. Means you're crying, still say Ram, Ram, Ram. You're laughing, say Ram, Ram, Ram. Means you're happy. You're walking, say Ram. Eating, say Ram, Ram, Ram. because there's no rule to say. But all the other things have rules. You see? And some people make too much a rule too about everything. So a rule, but chanting the name of Ram, no rule. Anybody could chant. Anytime, anywhere. Aguna saguna dui brahma sarupa. Akatha agada anadi anupa. More matbara nama duhute. Now see, this is a real philosophical verse. Most wonderful verse from Balkant. 122. Let me tell you, some philosophical verses also are important. The absolute reality, actually if I had thought about it, we had talked about this one verse in the whole Yajna for the 3 days. It's a nice verse like that. The absolute reality, Tulsidas is describing, Paramatma, the absolute, is aguna and saguna. At the same time, at one and the same time, God is nirgun and sagun. People have too much argument about all of this. We should not have argument about this. Bhagwan is sagun or nirgun. People like to argue unnecessary things. Bhagwan is sagun and nirgun at the same time. And Bhagwan's universe is like that also. Everything is finite and infinite at the same time. Whatever the nature of the reality has to be the nature of his prapancha, his manifested universe. How it is finite and infinite at the same time? You just haven't thought about it. This is this first line, aguna, saguna, dui brahma sarupa. I'm talking that phrase first. So whatever the nature of the supreme reality is also the nature of this world. Just we have to learn to see. The nature of the supreme reality is with qualities and without qualities at the same time. Now that sounds like a contradictory statement. Well, what I'm telling you, because that reality is characterized by this contradiction. His whole universe is characterized by the same contradiction. So what contradiction now? This is finite and infinite at the same time. How it is finite you can see because you see it is circumscribed. So you can know how it is finite. How it is infinite. So I mean that I can understand. This thing is finite, it looks finite to me. How it is infinite, that I can understand. Well, that is very easy to understand also, how it is infinite. I'll show you. This thing is made up of atoms. Right? Oh, atom is finite or infinite? Finite, you say. Just like this. One atom. But I tell you, you take an atom and cut in half and throw it away. You are left with half. Right? You are left with half. Cut that half now and throw away half. You are left with quarter. Cut that quarter now and throw away half. You are left with what? 1/8. Now, you keep cutting in half like that. Theoretically, mathematically, from every standpoint, how far down can you go? Infinite. So an atom which appears to you to be finite is at the same time also infinite. There is no end to that. Anybody who studied a little bit of mathematics will tell you that. X to the power of infinity. Isn't it? So whatever it is, that contradictory things that are said about the reality, same all contradictory things can be said about everything in this universe. Because the universe is a manifestation of that reality. And if it is a manifestation of the reality, the universe must contain all the qualities of the reality. How it will... Arey bhai, if something is born from fire, how it will be cold? The sparks coming out from fire, how they go be cold? The sparks have to also be hot. So the reality from which this universe is manifested is of certain nature. The universe is of the same nature. Just that we have not trained our eyes and our tutoring to see it. That is the problem. The education system is just very bad, that is all. So, first pada of this verse is Aguna Saguna Abdui Brahma Sarupa. That reality is with qualities and without qualities at the same time. Now that also on its own requires some contemplation, reflection, some vichar. That how Bhagavan could be with qualities and without qualities at the same time. This is best solved in today's modern physics. This pada, in modern physics, you know that. Now let us talk about qualities. We say, this thing is called watch. But the watch has certain qualities. It is round, it is yellow, it is hard. Those are qualities upon which watch is not dependent. But those are qualities which the watch has, right? Oh. So now, the qualities possessed by the watch. If you ask a scientist, what color is it? He'll tell you, really, it looks yellow. But really speaking, if I take a microscope and I go down into the watch, what happens to the yellow? It disappears. Or the simplest example which you learn in Form 3, I remember learning in Form 3. What is the color of blood? Red. But when you put blood under the microscope, it is not red anymore. You don't see any red. It means when you go down into the thing, whatever prior quality you were seeing, whatever prior guna you were seeing, whatever trait you were seeing, prior to going down into it with a microscope, those traits and qualities and everything there vanish. This wall is solid? Solid. You ask a particle physicist, he'll tell you this wall is not solid, because when you go deep into it, the solidity vanishes. So now, from here, the wall has quality of solid. When you go deep into it, the quality disappears. So now, the wall is with quality and without quality at one and the same time. How? Science is telling us that. With a simple worldly example, you can see that the thing possesses quality, hardness, and there is no hardness at the same time. So in the very same way, if you can see that with a little wall, in the very same way, the reality. Brahman, Brahma Sarupa, the nature of Brahman. This is the idea. Aguna, it is with quality, without quality. Saguna, with quality. Both. So they seem contradictory, but even science is now telling the wall is hard and the wall is not hard at the same time. Means from here when I knock, hard. I take a microscope and I go inside. You know, it is 99.99% space. Space hard or what? Space not hard. So, first, that's the first part. Then akatha, agada, anadi, anupa. That reality is akatha, is indescribable. Akatha means indescribable. We could never, how can my finite voice or finite speech, finite intellect and understanding comprehend something which is infinite? So it is akatha. If you cannot comprehend, then what you will speak? Unspeakable, indescribable. Akatha, agad. Agad means deep, profound, subtle. Actually, in the end, it becomes subtle. Deep. And that is why I keep telling, learn to think deeply about things. We should strive to think deeply, not just, our living and our thinking all shallow. Not just like that. Think from a very subtle, profound level all the time. Like now how we are telling about an object seen in the world can be hard and not hard at the same time. It makes it with quality and without quality at the same. That requires thinking. Hindus were never shallow thinkers, profound thinkers. Learn to think deep about things. Imbibe, inculcate that thing. It's very good. So because the reality is agad. Deep means so deep we can never reach the end. Can never fathom like that. Fathomless. Anadi, beginningless. That Brahma reality is beginningless. It was not Bhagavan was not born in some day. I know you have Krishna Janamashtami and this and that and the other thing. That was Bhagavan's incarnation. It doesn't mean that Bhagavan was born on that day. Bhagavan was there before and he just incarnates on that day. Don't get that mixed up. He's anadi, beginningless, not born at any time, always there. That is the idea. Was always there, is always there, and will always be there. He tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita this same thing. Anadi. And he's anupa. Anupa, incomparable. You ask, anything in this world, you will find a comparison for it. It looks like this, or it looks like that, or it sounds like this, or sounds like that. And Trini people like that too bad. You carry a Trini in Miami or New York, and you give him a slice of bread. The moment he eats it, this thing tastes like kiss bread. Or he came to New York and Queens and Liberty or something, and you buy a doubles for him. The moment he eats the doubles, this could never taste like Trini doubles, because he compares one to the other. You could find a comparison between this thing and this thing. What comparison you will find for Bhagavan? Bhagavan is like what? One day, one man trying to describe Bhagavan to our next man. The other man said, describe Bhagavan for me. He said, Bhagavan is incomparable. No, describe some other way. No, Bhagavan is fabulous. No, Bhagavan is majestic. That fellow ran out of adjectives. He said, Bhagavan is incomfantabulogistic. How many adjectives you put in one day to describe Bhagavan? And that can describe nothing. Incomfantabulogistic. So, the scriptures tell everywhere, anupa. Anupa means incomparable. I mean, you cannot say Bhagavan is like this, or Bhagavan is like that, or what. This is the same name, same word, anupa, from Sanskrit, which you hear people name their children Anup. Anup word, name you know, na? Like Anup Jalota or something. So this is the word, anupa. Anupa in Sanskrit means incomparable. Cannot find anything to compare. Trinidadians have the best comparisons for everything. I mean, Trinidad language has very good. It's sharp like a razor, man. Have you heard? So that's a comparison, isn't it? Its sharpness is like razor. No, we have a comparison for everything in Trinidad. Nice language. He's stingy like what? I don't know, might have many comparisons for that. He happy like papi. He cool like Goku. Anytime you say that like, Trinidad language have all of these things. Cool like Goku. So anyway, the reality, Bhagwan, is anupa, incomparable. Then, see Tulsidas' drift, he invokes this highly philosophical description of the reality over which centuries and centuries of philosophers have been arguing. Bhagwan is saguna or nirguna. So Tulsidaji resolved that he has both at the same time. Saguna, nirguna, and then he's all of these things. But greater than any of this, you arguing about saguna, he arguing about nirguna. You arguing about akatha, he telling it is kathaniya. This person arguing about agad. No, Bhagwan is very much here before my eyes. What you're talking about, agad, deep. He's right here. So then all the other things I'm seeing is what then? Bhagwan only. So one saying, this is Bhagwan. Siya Rama mai sab jagat jani. Vasudeva sarvamiti. He telling, everything is Bhagwan. And the other one is saying, no, Bhagwan is deep, beyond the ken of the senses. Adrishya, unseen. Like that. He said, all you go on arguing, I tell all you, the name of Bhagwan better than all of that. The next line. He says, More mat in my estimation. Tulsidaji is saying, in my estimation, as far as I feel or I think or I understand, Nama, Bada Nama Dhuhute, the name greater than all is Saguna, Nirguna, which is deep, shallow, whatever you want to, all things you want to say, name greater than both. In other words, if you go on reflecting on whether Bhagwan is with gunas, with qualities or without qualities, all that reflection, no need. What to do? Chandi? The name. Kiye jahi jaga, juga, nija, basa nija, bhute. And that person who chants that name of Bhagwan, that person brings Bhagwan under his control. By chanting the name of God, we get Bhagwan, just like how you could get your neighbor to pick mango for you. You get your neighbor to do something for you, no? By Samdan, Danda, whatever. So the one who chants the name of Ram, he'll get Bhagwan to do his bidding. That is the idea. Huh? Therefore, Tulsidas, she says, this is very nice. You know how we say? Let me tell you a little bit of the tradition and all. All these are very simple things you learn. Om Namah Shivaya. Nama is a big word in Sanskrit. Meaning it's a small word, but it has big implications. When I say big word. Namah. Some people say Namaha. Depends on what you want to say and how it is there in the sentence. Okay? Namah or Namaha. In Sanskrit, it depends on where it is there in the sentence. That will determine how you will say, whether you will say Namah or Namaha. Huh? Or anyway, so that means neither is wrong. It all depends on the sentence. So, Om Namah Shivaya. That Namah word, usually we have it reserved. Om Namah Shivaya. I do salutations, prostrations to Shiva, to Lord Shiva, right? Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha. I do salutations to Krishna. Like that. Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. I do salutation to Rama. So the Nama means I salute, I do prostrations, like that. And then whichever name, Krishna, Shiva, Rama, Ganeshaya Namaha. So usually the word Nama is reserved for some deity. Tulsidas is so good here. Yet Nama word, he uses it for he bows to the name of Ram. Not Ram, eh? The name of Ram. He's bowing to a name. We usually bow to the deity, bow to the form of Bhagwan. But not bowing to the form of Bhagwan. He's bowing to the name in this verse. Other places he bows to Bhagwan only. But here he bows to the name. That means what? That name is so important. So now see that he bows to that name. Bandau Nam. Bandau is the same as Namaha. Bandau. Now this is Avadhi. Bandau and Namaha means one and same. Bandau Nam Rama Raghubar Ko
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Hetu Kisan Anu Hem Kar Ko
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Bandau Nam Rama Raghubar Ko
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Hetu Kisan Anu Hem Kar Ko
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Vidhi Hari Har Maya Ved Pran So
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Aguna Anupama Guna Nidhan So
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Mahamantra Noi Japat Mahesu
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Mahamantra Joy Japat Mahesu
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Kasi Mukti Hai Upadesu
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Mahima Jasu Jan Gan Rao
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Pratham Pujiyat Nam Prabhav
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Pratham Pujiyat Nam Prabhav
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Syavar Ramachandra Ki Jai. Bandau Nam. I prostrate, I do salutations to the name. Bandau Nam. Usually Bandau Ram. I do salutations to Ram. But Tulsidas is a very famous line in Ramcharitmanas. Bandau Nam. I do salutation to the name of Ram. Bandau Nam, but whose name? He said Ram Raghubar Ko. Two names. Ram, who is Raghubar. That name, Ram, I do salutation. Because, Tulsidas is also very funny. I do salutations to the name Ram, right? So that was enough, we think. We think that is enough. But there are plenty of people in the village who name Ram too. So when somebody will ask, you do salutations to the name Ram, you mean the fellow who live in down the road? Like Ram Singh? Or Ram Lal? You do salutations to his name? No. Raghubar. I do salutations to the name of Ram. Which Ram? Who is Raghubar? Ram from Ayodhya, from the Raghu dynasty. That name Ram. Because what society does, right? Society has a habit to corrupt everything. And that's why we have to go on struggling. We have to go on making effort every day. Prayatna. Every day we have to make effort to stem the decadence and the corruption and all of that sort of thing. Society has a habit to make it bad. We have to stem that and always try to make it good. So the name, a person is supposed to live up to his name, right? Because Sanskrit names have such wonderful meanings. So we have to try to live up to that name. Ram means the person who is all the time reveling. Ramante iti Ram. Who is reveling or in whom everybody is reveling. So the simple meaning, the one who is happy all the time. Ram. He's happy. Have you seen Ramayana in TV when you see? Rama is always happy. They gave kingdom, he's okay. They gave forest, he's still okay. So now, Rama can protect the meaning of that name because he can maintain his joy all the time. But you give that name now to somebody in society. Instead of being happy all the time, he crying whole day. No, what kind of Ram? He degrades the name. And if in Trini, well, he degraded it even more. Because in the newspaper, there used to be a cartoon. I don't know if it still be there. And that fellow in that cartoon, he degraded the name from Ram Singh to Ram Singh. You remember that? So look how did name come? So society has that constant habit of degrading things. But the person in society who will become exemplary is that person who can take that thing and exemplify that, make it an example for others. So he gets the name Ram. So he should live up to that name. That is a great person in society, you see. Not to fall prey to the natural decadence which is there as part of society. It is there already, can't do anything. But you can go the other way. It means you didn't put it there, but you can make sure that I live up to my name. And you see all your own names. Everybody's name will have some profound meaning. You just live up to that name only. He named Anand. He named Anand and every day he cried. Anand means bliss. He's supposed to be in bliss all the time. You live up to your name. Then you stem the tide of Prakriti's natural decadence. Like that. So here, before anybody thinks that he's talking about the name Ram of some other person, he said, which Ram? The Ram of Ayodhya. Raghubar Ram. Bandhav Nam Ram Raghubar. I do salutations to that name. Because through that name Ram, I can reach Bhagwan Ram. That is the idea. Through the name of Ram, I can reach Bhagwan Ram. So, I do salutations to that name. Bandhav Nam Ram Raghubar Ko Hetu Krisanu Bhanu Himakar Ko. That name of Ram is Now this is a very profound thing. It goes deeper. The cause for the fire, the sun, the moon, and everything. Everything rests on the name of Ram. Really? Wow. We say that this name Ram is the cause for the whole universe, in other words. Why only 3 objects? Fire and all of this. The name Ram is the cause for all things. All things rest on. And just now, he himself had told the name Ram is greater than Saguna and Nirguna Brahma, reality. And if name Ram is greater than Saguna and Nirguna Brahma, and this whole universe rests on Saguna Nirguna Brahma, then what? That Saguna Nirguna Brahma also must rest on something. Actually, when Tulsidas speaks like this, it is not mere exaltation of the name, but it is also philosophical presentation of Hinduism, of Sanatana Dharma. The name of the Lord is greater than the Lord, because the Lord means whatever Lord we see in Ayodhya. See, he looks finite, and he is there in one place and one time. But his name, even though he has gone, we are still chanting his name or not? His name is there in all places and all times. And people from the west go to the east and they bring his name to the west also, isn't it? Have you heard? Like so many famous people in the west, like one fellow is, what is his name? Krishna, what? Krishna Das. Krishna Das? Krishna Das has left from this side of the earth and gone to India and brought the name of Ram and made it popular on this side of the earth or not? If you go to some of his concert and all, the Indian people are not there. All Caucasian people. And chanting what? Yes. Chanting the name of Bhagavan. That's all they do. And not 1 or 2 people, Countless people. You see? So his name gets spread all over the world, but here in this line, he says that name is the foundation for, or the substratum for fire, sun, moon, earth, everything actually. What is referred to as is everything. That name, when thought about in this way, it is called in our Sanskrit language as the primordial sound. The primordial sound is described in our Mandukya Upanishad. The primordial sound is what? Om. Primordial sound is Om. And this Ram name and this Om, name of Ram and Om, they are one and same, because that Om is there in the Upanishad, described as the foundation for the whole prapancha, the whole universe. Om is described as the foundation for the universe. And here Ram is now described as the foundation. That means what? Whatever primordial sound you know, that primordial sound has the same power. This Ram has the same power as that primordial sound. That is the idea. It's the foundation for the universe. The sounds may be different. Now there will be many reasons why Bhagavan is saying like this, or why Tulsidas is saying like this. The name of Ram is so great. Now, Bidhi Hari Haramaya Ved Pranaso Aguna Anupama Guna Nidhanaso. And this Ram is Bidhi Hari Haramaya Ved Pranaso, is the life breath of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh and the Vedas. This Ram. Therefore, I keep telling, why not just go on chanting Ram, Ram, Ram all the time only? Hare Rama, 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 Sita, Rama, Rama, Rama.
Hare Rama, 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 Sita, Rama, Rama, Rama.
Rama 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 Sita Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Sita 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 Rama Rama Sita Rama Rama Sita Rama Rama Sita Syamara Ramachandra ki jai. So the name of Ram, he says, forms the very breath of the Vedas. Then all of this is pointing to the primordial sound called as Om. So great is this name of Ram. Maha mantra joi japata mahesu. And the same words just now that were described, that were used to describe the reality, the same words that is used to describe the name, Aguna, Anupama, Gunanithan. It is with all qualities and without qualities at the same time. Same words, huh? Maha mantra. The name Ram is Maha mantra. Maha mantra is what? Maha mantra in the Upanishads. Maha mantra, all of you know. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
So this mantra comes from the Upanishad, in this form. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, like that. Some other people have changed it around and put Krishna first and all of that. But in the Upanishad it said like this only. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So now that they have branded it as Maha Mantra. But our Tulsidas ji says, this Ram is Maha Mantra. You don't have to learn that long thing now. What is that? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Everything is made easier. Everybody like everything easier now? All human beings like everything easy only. Correct or not? Human beings are peculiar beings. Everything we want easy. You see, in one cell phone, what you have? In one cell phone you have email, you have text, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have alarm clock, you have flashlight, you have calendar, you have everything in one. So that easy. You have to go nowhere looking for no alarm clock and thing. Right here. You have to go by no post office to post no letter. Everything at the tip of your finger. A long time, those of you who remember my age and over, you will know. We used to have to go by the post office, which is 1 or 2 miles from here, from home. You remember that? The post office is 1 or 2 miles from home. You go there to find out if any letter come. Now, what? Now you have to go nowhere. Not only that, now we get so much a letter, man, when all that thing, you don't want to open itself. And all it takes and all. So anyway, we like everything easy. So the Maha Mantra, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It's a long thing. So here, Maha Mantra jo japata mahesu. This is the Maha Mantra that is chanted by Lord Shiva himself. Which Maha Mantra? Ram. Where? Kasi Mukuti Hetu Upadesu. In Kashi, in Banaras, North India, that city is called the city of death. City of death means what? One of its names. If you die in that city, you get mukti. Die in that place. I stayed there for 4 years one time. I didn't come any close to dying. But people go there at the end of their life. Many movies have been made about it also. At the end of their life, they go there and wait to die. But what is the process? Everybody just say that. We die in Kashi, you get mukti. How? This Chaupai tells how. That when the person is dying, the Maha Mantra Joi Japata Mahesu. Mahesu means Mahesh, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva chants that. Kasi Mukuti Hetu Upadesu. At the end, when that person is dying in Kashi, because Lord Shiva resides in Kashi, Lord Shiva chants Ram in the air. So when he chants Ram in that dying person's air, and they die with that Ram chanted in the air, they get mukti. This is the process given in the Chaupai. So, anyone who dies in Kashi, Bhagavan Shiva chants Ram in the air at the time of death, and they get mukti. This is the idea. And it is also called Maha Mantra. This is one reason why it's called Maha Mantra. It's chanted by Lord Shiva, and is the mantra which gives that mukti. So it's great mantra. Because mukti is the greatest goal. Enlightenment. Other reason why we call a Maha Mantra is because Rama is made from the two letters in Sanskrit. The only two letters that go above the line. So it's greater than the others. For that you'll have to know a little Sanskrit or a little Hindi. In Hindi language, above all the letters there's a line like this. And the letters are under the line. But the only two letters that find themselves above this line is Ra and Ma. They are forms of this Ra and Ma. They fall above the line. So it means they are greater than all the other letters. That is the idea. So there is one more reason why this Ra and Ma that make up Ram, there is a Maha Mantra. Because it is made from the most exalted of letters. That is the idea. Okay. So how all of this came, I was telling you that if you are a Hindu, you are lucky. You have all types of sadhanas you can do. You do japa, you do puja, you offer jal, you chant Hanuman Chalisa, you chant Vedic mantra, you do anything you want to, meditation, yoga, pranayama. Go on with pranayama and all. Anything. How many things you can do? But Tulsidas says, it's Ram Nam. You don't want to toll no beat, put on the mala. Chant the name of Ram. Like when Hanumanji heard Vibhishan getting up in the morning. In the morning, first thing, Ram, Ram, Ram. They sumirana laga. So, this is just one sadhana, and Tulsidas it is an exalted sadhana. Exalted sadhana of chanting the name of Ram. Okay. Now this is one thing which he talks about. What else he talks about? Many things in this Ramayana. Many, many things. But we'll see tomorrow. Many things. More. Okay. So we stop here tonight. We'll have now Aarti. And before we have the Aarti, let me just tell you some announcements of what is happening at the ashram. On the 8th of September, we are inaugurating our Chinmaya Vidyalaya. It's a very big project of the mission. And it is going to be the first smart school in Trinidad. Also, we are trying as much as possible to make it green school. So we have people right now looking at putting solar power, and we have called in some experts to our Dr. Sharda Mahavir is doing a wonderful job in suggesting all the things that are required to make it a green school. So as much as possible to make it green school also. So it will leave a lesser carbon footprint. So like those things we are right now pursuing, and let us see how far we can get with that. But all of it put together is inaugurating on the 8th of September, and there's a lot of work going on there. If you feel that you can assist in any way with any seva or anything, please do assist. One thing which we are trying to put in right now is wall fans like these. So you have to get 85 fans at $500 each. 85 fans. So if you're a fan of the school and you could give a fan, that will be fantastic. Today already we got about 40. So it's coming along very nicely. 40, 42 or something. You have to get 85. All right. We have at the back a bookstall. Please take a look at the bookstall on your way out. Vedanta Madhuryam. Wow. Vedanta Madhurya means the sweetness of Vedanta. So you have to take a look at the sweetness. And Tarangini stories for adults and children also. And this is a very, very popular book written many years ago, but fantastic. All the symbolism in Hinduism. Huh? All the forms of the Lord and all their symbolism. What they symbolize. All things that the Lord is holding. They discuss and all the different... Oh, there are some announcements here. On the 31st of this month, 31st, Independence Day, for the last 15 or 20 years we have been having the food fair. So food fair is coming up. You'll come and try out all the various types, countless things for you to try out. Masala dosa, paneer dosa, gourmet pizza, mango lassi, zing, all sorts of Indian food, Chinese food, West Indian food, all sorts of desserts and countless of vegetarian food fair. Wednesday, 31st of August, International Vegetarian Food Fair at the ashram. Now for all of these things we will need also ingredients. If you have a sack of flour home and you could give it to us, we will like that. Krishna Janmashtami celebrations at the ashram on the 18th of August, Thursday 18th of August. Krishna Janmashtami celebrations from 6 to 12 midnight. 6 p.m. to midnight on Thursday, 18th August. And if you're a fan of Bhagavad Gita, that same day, we'll chant Bhagavad Gita from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Whole Gita. We'll be chanting the whole Bhagavad Gita on that same morning. Evening is celebrations. Huh? Okay. Our Chinmaya Vidyalaya registration is going on for all campuses. Chinmaya Vidyalaya registration for preschool, primary school and high school in all the locations. Okay, that sounds like it. Let us stand for Aarti and we'll see tomorrow. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित श्री आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित श्री गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि ज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादि शेष सारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरतिनी
आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सिय आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सिय
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनिजन धन संजन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब
आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सिय आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सिय
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी अर्घत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि वर्ज बखानी भाग भूषण करोड़ के
आरती श्री रामायण कीरति कलित ललित सिय आरती श्री रामायण
फीकी सुबह सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की दलन रोग भाव मूरी अमी की रात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति गली गलत सिया की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति गली गलत सिया की
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि 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 बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षम मंगलायतनो हरि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महा